for those of you who would like to be on a call with me and receive energy work, I'll be doing that next Tuesday. And if you want to get those phone numbers, you can go to the website, which is JoDunning.com. And Joe is spelled J-O. So it's JoDunning.com. And you'll be able to find the free monthly teleconference and get the information for that or for the training program. The one that I'm doing on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and the one that's the last Tuesday of each month, is I call it kind of my cutting edge offering that I make, because I never know what process will be offered to the group. And it is usually something that I have never offered before to any group, and I never offer again to any group. It's something that is just needed right then by the particular people on that call. And so usually it has to do with upgrading the energy systems in the body, transforming the energy field, increasing the powers of manifestation, a stronger alignment with source, clearer guidance, things that have to do with a transformation of consciousness. So it's a time to really do the kind of cutting edge energy work for people who really want to advance rapidly in their consciousness. The one on Tuesday night is more designed to really help people in the struggles of everyday life: health, finances, relationship, home, happiness, all of the things that free us up then so we can really move into the spiritual realms. And so there's a little offering for each every single month just to help people out. And I always tell people, please call in early to those calls, 10 minutes earlier. So there's only about 300 lines, and they fill up quickly. So if you're calling in, keep calling until you connect through, and call in early so that you can be a part of that call, which is great. And I'm often asked, well, how can it happen that right now I'm sitting in California is where I am, Northern California, and people are sitting in different locations all around the world listening to a radio show or listening to the recording of this show. How is it that this energy work can transform lives of people so far away? And what we're beginning to discover is that most of us were raised that we are limited by the laws of physics, Newtonian physics. That is that two things cannot exist in the same place at the same time, and you can only be in one place at one time. It's physical matter. And so we have been trained in that. Now, fortunately, children coming along now have more information that is in the realm of quantum physics, which is a bona fide scientific study, and it studies the smallest known particles so far. And, of course, that means it is studying what we are composed of. We are composed of the smallest particles grouped together into different ways of functioning. And what's being discovered in quantum physics, started with the father of quantum physics, Max Klein, but what's being discovered is that these smallest particles can be anywhere at any time. They can be in more than one place at a time. And these particles can go from being visible, like physical matter, into invisible, like vibration or energy, and then back into visible again, and then back into invisible. So these little particles can shift basically from physical matter into energetic matter and back to physical matter. And this is all validated in quantum physics. And these little particles also are always connected. They have like a web that goes through all of the universe that connects all of these little particles, which has also been demonstrated through scientific studies. So these little particles are always connected, and because of this, they are able to communicate. So a particle in this present moment can communicate with all the other particles in this present moment, as well as anything in any past moment or future moment. So that means that when we move beyond the physical world, we are not only limited, we are no longer limited by space, meaning the same place at the same time, we are also no longer limited by what we understand to be time, past, present, and future. Now this is all quantum physics. It's validated, and this is the stuff that we as beings are made of. And these particles within our being are held together by a force, just as they are in the universe. That force is unnamed in the universe by most scientists. The rest of us would call that force spirit, universal consciousness, God, divinity. So we give that power a name. Well, within our being, all of those particles are bound together by this same energy or force, and it is all linked together via our consciousness. So we call that consciousness or awareness within each of us, which is very different than the mind. So we are held together by our consciousness. And so we are, what science has learned is that what is expected to be found when viewing these small little particles in a scientific study is found. So when a scientist is observing these little tiny particles, they do what the observer is wanting. So that the observer has a certain outcome, they want to notice a certain kind of change, they notice that the particles shift depending on the observer, the focus of an observer. That indicates to us that what we expect also is creating the world around us. So we now know that particles in quantum physics can be in more than one place at one time. In the energetic realm or spiritual realm, we call that bilocation, where a person is physically in two or more places at the same time. And many of us have had those experiences. We are perfectly sane, perfectly rational beings, and we are having these experiences of bilocation. And the other thing is these particles can become visible and invisible. That's teleportation. So teleportation is we have a physical object in one location. It becomes invisible, meaning energy. It moves to another location and it becomes visible, which means back into the physical object again. So we're understanding teleportation, bilocation. We're beginning to understand being psychic because in quantum physics they're realizing these little tiny particles are always connected. So we are getting information from each other, from the world, from trees and plants and animals and divine beings and everyone around us, everything around us. So quantum physics is showing now that these particles are all connected through this great divine matrix. And so we now begin to understand why we can be psychic, why we can know events are happening in other parts of the world, why we do know some beloved person just had a joyful event or a difficult event. And so we're beginning now to find why when we make a change in our life right now, we can change our history and we change our future. And so using energy, as we're doing right now during this call, we are changing the present moment. So that list of items that are in the present moment are being energetically changed right now. And it will change what's happening right now. And because there is a change right now, it also links through this matrix, this divine web, back into all of the events that created this moment right now. So all those events are being shifted. The belief, the outcome, the understanding, the wisdoms that you gained, all of that is being shifted into something far more magnificent, far more free, far more spontaneous for you. And in the same way, this change right now that's taking place energetically is changing the future that awaits you. So as these changes are taking place in you right now, your next moments and your next days and weeks, months, and years are being shifted into new alignment with the changes that are taking place in you right now. And it's happening energetically within your energy field by a shifting of the belief system. And the belief system is basically thought linked with emotion. So when we have a thought and we link it powerfully with emotion, we have established something that creates out into the universe. And that's called a belief. You become what you believe, you are what you believe. That kind of a statement is about this kind of linking with thought and emotion.
This ends part 4 of the Law of Attraction Talk Radio interview with Joe Dunning. Please go to part 5, or you can download the entire show by going to lawofattractiontools.com and click on the Listen Live button.